And so, like, we manifest ourselves into the serial killer coming up to us. He backs up to us and, like, doesn't say anything, doesn't wave at us, like, just opens up his trunk.
Opens his trunk.
Gets out this flashlight, right?
Pulled out a rag. The light comes on. I see that there's another person in the car. You didn't say
I didn't
anything.
say a damn word because I was like, I can't even imagine if this actually happens. Liable? Yeah, I'm liable.
You're liable to go cop that.
I'm liable. I reckon I'm going to go get that any time of the day. Welcome back to Big City Backwoods.
Sarah's liable to go buy some handbags.
Oh, the cutest. Cutest.
Whew. It's a hot one out there today, boys.
It's specifically humid. It's hot. We're finally in the high 90s. It took us all of May. And we really had the full-fledged May weather.
So wet.
Tornadoes.
So wet.
I had to wake up in the middle of the night one night and had to take my animals and actually go sit down in my basement because we were right. The tornado actually touched down in our town.
I heard that.
Crazy.
I heard it touched down in a lot of towns.
At least I'm in all of them. Yeah. It did a couple of
Everything.
times, but I wouldn't say I was still scared about it, but I was aware enough about it that I was like, all right, it's kind of whipping around. Like, I was like, we should definitely go in the basement.
You can't not be afraid. You can't not be afraid. I was watching, what have I been watching? Tokyo Vice.
Tokyo Drift.
No, that's why I couldn't. I was about to say Tokyo Vice, and I was like, that's not the name of it, because all I'm thinking was like Tokyo Drift or any other
I was
Vice
about to
show.
say it's only Tokyo Drift in my head.
But Tokyo Vice is the name of the show. I had to, but it's great. But we were watching it really loud, and I was like, I won't be able to hear the tornado sirens because I had two friends that were in their basement at this point telling me about it. So I was like refreshing all the different pages over and over again to see if there's a siren going off. But I mean, that's the Midwest right now. This time of year,
What was
horrible.
Funny is like
Everything is horrible.
we didn't have like any warning. I don't feel like anybody was like, "Oh, watch out for tornadoes" any point in that day. And then it was just like 2 in the morning. No, it was like 1 in the morning, and I was like,
was it that late?
it was like 1. It was definitely like a little bit
Crazy.
after 1 because
I mean, it did move
that
around.
you know that iPhone alarm that just like goes off,
Mhm,
you know,
mhm.
Amber Alerts and all that other kind of stuff. That like
Tornado.
yeah,
Oh,
exactly.
Tornado sirens are just. It just feels
I
like
couldn't even hear them
Dementors
because
are
it was
around.
raining so loud. And then the thing that did wake me up is like Renfrey was actually like freaking out and like barking. And like she didn't even do that during storms. So I was like, what is going on?
What's the real deal here? Yeah, the dogs told me about the earthquake in California before it happened.
Mm-hmm.
Just tornadoes in general. They're so creepy. They're so
We
eerie.
had so many storms too, man. It was just like back to back to back to back to back rain. Like it was, and now it's just
hot.
heat.
Hot.
Like-
it's just week of 95 plus, and we are discovering our houses did not have the best AC.
Why is that the
airflow.
same? Our airflow is shit.
She got an end unit, like an end window unit. I'm waiting. I'm waiting a
Might be
bit.
time.
I'm thinking about you tried to talk to your home warranty. I'm gonna try to do the same thing. See what's good with it. They don't really cover nothing. It looks like.
What? Okay, can somebody tell me what the point of a home warranty is? Because like I don't know.
We're trying. We're gonna try. We're all gonna try.
Every time I have gotten somebody out to my house, they're like,
can't cover this.
it's not covered.
For some reason.
For
there's
some
that
reason.
clause. You didn't see that clause?
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, y'all are whack. Y'all are whack as shit. Why does anybody buy these? You know?
I luckily didn't, but
No, we
That's part of my
I did. I
negotiation.
totally bought a window unit, and honestly, it works so great.
good.
Specifically for that room, and it's actually like it's meant just specifically for that room, but it's like cooling down the rest
The
of it.
rest of it, that's what I'm saying.
would
if I put
never
it in the attic,
know.
I wonder if it'll kind of like.
I just, You don't think about those things,
No,
especially
well,
because we bought our houses in the winter. But it heated just fine, you know. I mean, I know the furnace is a different situation than it was.
Here.
I guess it did kind of get a little drafty. I don't feel like, I don't know.
It's just a hard life.
I don't even remember, to be honest. Yeah, homeowner. Anyways,
Homeowner
don't
part
buy a home warranty. I don't see the point in it.
This whole podcast is always just like, here's our home ownership section. Here's
Yeah.
the segment where we talk about where we at in home ownership.
You know, and the thing, well, I feel like, you know, people are getting to the age that they care about that kind of stuff. Maybe that's just us. Could be.
She found a sale at Walmart for the AC unit.
No, yeah. They also have them at Ace Hardware for on sale right now. Of course, it's summertime, so of course they're on sale.
They're on sale. They're probably not on sale. They just say
it was kind of like our quick fix of like not trying to. I mean, I don't even know where to begin. I don't know unless buying a whole nother AC unit or figuring out like what's I don't know that stuff, you know.
Nope.
So.
Oh shit.
Anyways, I think the window unit's gonna do just fine for right now.
Yeah, I'm gonna come
and it's gonna be better for.
I'm gonna probably get one myself.
It is like fully cooled down our like top area, and we're not even a full story like you guys are.
Yeah.
I don't even want to know what the top of yours.
I don't go up there.
Don't want to know. Don't want to know how hot that gets. But
sorry.
Y'all would definitely have to get a window unit up there. Sometimes it really is the wild, wild west. Okay.
This week,
the heat advisory, you can't.
Literally, there is so many like check. We live in the Midwest this week. Everyone I know has had a tick in the past week.
Go.
It is. I think there's something going on. There's more ticks than ever before.
Well, we didn't have a very bad winter, so none of these bugs really got killed off, and now they're like coming out with a vengeance. I feel like because we didn't. I mean, it was still a cold winter, but it wasn't like the last couple that I've like seen up here.
Yeah, it wasn't that bad. It was cute. It was like a cute winter.
Yeah, it was a cute winter. I'd have to agree with that.
All, yeah.
So with that being said, it makes summers way worse for bugs, and it's like just so humid right now. And I know that we're human. I get that.
Every time I go outside, it's like I'm wet, and then I just see a fog of bugs around my face and like all over me.
The little gnats
just
that you
like
see,
gnats and mosquitoes, and they're all over my dogs. It's just the worst.
It really is so bad.
It's so wet.
It's so bad. Like I don't know.
I feel like I'm in Florida.
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, am I just like, am I to the point in my life that I notice more bugs, or and I just haven't cared? Have they always been here this bad? Because I don't feel like I've ever gotten eaten up this bad in a while. And like,
I have a lot of bug bites on me in the worst places right now. Actually, it's been a couple rough days.
We were talking about the tick story last time. Bugs always find their way to just make it in the most uncomfortable places. And it's where you're wearing clothing. So I'm like, where did you come from?
How did you crawl that fast?
Yeah. On my like barren legs, I'll have like maybe a couple, but they're like always up underneath your clothing. Which makes me freaking weirded out because I know that bugs are getting inside the clothing, and that's just a whole nother fear unlocked. Gross. It's just,
I think
it's
about
all the
those
way.
times like people have bugs in their ears and stuff.
My mom did.
No, I thought that was something that was like just like on the internet. Not a real life person. Stop. I don't want to know about it actually. I mean, God, I guess.
She just,
I don't want to know.
all she said was she was young. She was very young. She was a kid. And she woke up because the noise was so loud in her ear. She felt like somebody was stomping in her ear, and so she was freaking out. And so they were just like draining water and alcohol.
Oh, I hate that.
Yeah, it was the worst. It was the worst. And she was telling me that it literally came out. There was a literal spider in her ear. I know. Could you imagine?
I love spiders.
And like, can you hear it just stomping around in your eardrum? Could you imagine? I couldn't. She's still like to this day, because like she always says, she's like, my sisters never believed this story because we were so young at the time, but I know it happened. Because like, of course, you know, my grandmother passed away a long time ago for her to tell that story, but it's funny too. It's like a running joke. Like my aunts are like, that never really happened to you, Teresa. And she's like, no, I swear. You never forget that kind of stuff, okay? When I say I had tons of tick bites on me, like you never forget those, okay? So I do believe my mom. I could honestly just picture her like wigging out about it too. Speaking of, I've got tons of August birthdays coming up. Both my parents are August. That's what made me think of it. They're coming up.
I get it. Leo season's coming.
And I'm born from 2 Leos, so you already know.
Oh man, I literally for some reason, all of my friends have been like, "Oh hey, do you know what this Leo in your life wants for their birthday? I'm like, bro, that's August. Like, why is everyone so obsessed with all y'all's birthdays? Like, I have way too many Leos in my life, and they're all born in August. And everyone, like...
Leos are great.
There's
you
already
obviously have a type that you really like.
I know.
She's like, I don't know how I have all these friends, but, like, you've cultivated your own friend group of, like...
Leos. It's just a good energy, because Libras are kind of similar.
They're very similar in ways.
But not in
So,
a lot of ways.
I was at work the other day, and one of my employees was like, I was organizing, like I just was doing my thing that I always do, and she's like, what sign are you? She's like a younger girl. She's like 19, but she's so cute. Adorable. But, and she's just like a really hard worker, but she was like, what? Yeah, she was like, what sign are you? And I was like, oh, I'm a Leo. And she was like, oh. She was like, I wouldn't have guessed that. And I was like, you're thinking Virgo because of like, Virgos, I know that like, which is like very close in like our domains, not to get like too much into zodiacs, but she's like, yeah, I would have thought you were a Virgo. And I was like, yeah, I do like organization. That is like one thing that like I can be a little sometimes chaotic about, but the like next couple of days I was like very aggressive at work. She never called me mean. She was just like, you're aggressive. But it was funny because she was like, see, that's like, now I realize that you are a Leo. She was like, you're not mean, you're aggressive, but you're not mean.
Yeah, you don't come with bad intentions.
Which is funny because
kind of sound like you do.
Yeah, no, exactly. She's like, you're just, and she paused too and then was like, aggressive. I was like, yeah.
I love the things I've learned from being around Leos. I feel like I've taken all the good shit.
I tried being raised by two of them.
Yeah.
There was one thing, it was funny, I was talking to Jacob and like our parents raised us in completely different settings that we realized like growing up, I was obviously.
I know both families.
It's very obvious they were raised much differently. Like, but both of my parents were very along the lines of like, we started talking about the fact that like, don't get in fights at school unless somebody's picking on you, and you better not come home with a story of you getting your ass kicked. Like they were like, I don't want to hear that. You better win this fight if you're going to start it type shit. Like that was just always kind of like a funny motto. And so like, I never got like big into fighting at school by any means, but like I promise. I didn't get kicked out. I was like a decent kid. I was in marching band. Okay. I didn't know.
Right.
You know, I never would be so stupid to do it on school property, but I would definitely stand up for like, and it was just so funny, like me and Jacob were going back and forth about it, and he was like, my parents would never tell me something like that. I'm like, yeah, you could just totally see it from my parents though, for sure. Yeah. Especially my dad. Oh my gosh. And it was so true. Different. Every single one of us, Grady especially, really stuck up to this one bully, and it was like the funniest story too. No, it was a hilarious story. That's like cute. Grady went ham. He was stuffing wet paper towels down his throat.
Damn.
Every time I hear that story, it's so funny to me. Like, yeah, like he was real wild about it. He was like really getting picked on in PE because like boys are just mean. Of course they're just mean.
Everyone's mean.
Everybody's mean. So mean in high school, but I just remember the principal calling my parents, and then I was like, I got out.
Say it.
Yeah, bro, having to say it, and then my dad was like, Grady hadn't got home yet, and he was telling me, he was like, yeah, I guess you just stuffed wet paper towels down this guy's throat. He's like, and I remember he was like, I don't even know how to be mad at him because he was getting bullied, but like, maybe I should say.
He was like,
you're going to quit.
It again. Say that again.
You're not going to say a damn word to me anymore. I'm going to make sure of it. It was crazy.
Oh, that's so funny. Yeah. It's funny that I just have still yet to meet him.
He's a character. Oh my God, he's a character. He's funny. Talk about somebody with a bold personality. Also an Aries, so it just makes sense. He's fire sign.
I don't really know a lot of Aries. I'm kind of like
Alicia.
interested and scary.
Alicia is one. Okay. Very like.
Okay. So I kind of know one. Kind of.
Yeah, I mean, on that one occasion.
Yeah.
My engagement party where I was clearly married. Fun times.
Oh, that was a good little
funny
moment in our history. Great segue. Another moment in our history where I feel like we will now be friends forever. We had a near-death experience together last week,
and for I think we both experienced it for the first time. Also, we talked about going to Oklahoma. And, like, actually fully planned that right after we filmed last week. We're like, yeah, let's do this, right? Boom, hit a deer. Hit a deer, like.
And it was just looking back, it's been a week now.
Yeah.
And looking back, it's just
still
like,
recovering from it.
Yeah. I feel like there was like a lot of, and then it just kept going. Like the week just kept going with weird oddities.
I'm telling you that tornado came the night after that. I wasn't going to like say that just yet. I wasn't going to go into the deer story quite yet, but I was like, nah, there's been some fatal almost occurrences even afterwards. Pretty wild.
It was just a wild week. So
just an omen of shit.
All right,
let's back up. Let's
dive in. So
yeah, go ahead.
We made the plan. We literally made a plan. My bag is still packed. I
took care of mine immediately. I said, I don't want to see this anymore.
Yeah. No, I just kept it there. I was just like, whatever. I'm over it.
Mm-hmm.
We packed all our stuff. We were ready to go. We made a plan. We needed to go the night before because I had a meeting the next day. And then I was going to work while she was going to go and do other productive things that she needed to do in Tulsa.
Mm-hmm. We planned it out. We were being responsible. It was wholesome.
It was literally just like we were doing work and then we were going
to see family. Literally
hang
family.
Out with her
both
dad,
of our family.
And then we were going to the next day go to
thrifting
with
we were going to go
and then antique shopping with mom and then we were going to drive home because I had another meeting at 9 that night. So it was like
and
kind of
your
like
cousin. We were like just a little like cutesy little drop in.
It was a whole little cute
we were
going to go. It was just like a night. Just one night, but 2 nights.
I was going to re-show you downtown Tulsa. Right. I was very excited about that too. But yeah, at all points, it was supposed to just be this cute little wholesome trip and gone and done within 2 days. And it was abruptly interrupted.
An hour and 20 minutes in. When on the drive there, was the best part. All of the things building up to this moment was the perfect moment.
We should have known. We spoketh the words
we willed that
we
into
manifested
existence,
this.
Unfortunately.
Yeah. No, we did. Like
it
even
was
5 minutes up to.
I mean, it was our fault.
I can't believe it either, man. Like, it's just crazy how, like, things like that, like, the universe catches me again, and I'm like, fuck, I was being way too cocky.
I don't know where you started your manifestation, but I know it was, for me, when I was driving home from, like, the dentist. I had the dentist that day, too. Driving home from the dentist, my mouth is numb, and I was like, I can't forget to grab a weapon, just in case. I'm going to grab my Batman knife, because it's the sharpest knife I have that's really kind of like one of those, you know.
Yeah, you just never know. I mean,
just in case.
Obviously. Right? Wow. So, you got to be prepared.
Just in case. Because the drive to Oklahoma at night is dark and low service and no lights.
I will say, previously, before we were going to decide on driving, we're planning on to drive in the morning, Tuesday morning, because I was like, but even getting up that early would have been a dangerous, because it's still going to be dark. You're just hitting, like, you know, which is where deer come out. But I do remember thinking, I was like, I don't like driving at night. That's the only reason why I wouldn't have suggested, unless you didn't have that meeting. Yeah, early Tuesday morning, we were going to literally not drive at night. That was like my biggest thing. But I will say that maybe that was my first thought. I was like, whatever. But I've done it before. Yeah. I've had to do it before.
And I was like, we'll have each other and we'll just, you know.
And that was my one thing. I was like, yeah, I'll have somebody with me, so it's not like I'll be tired.
Yeah.
That was my whole thought process.
We get on the road, I don't know, like 8:30.
It was like 8.
Yeah.
It was like 8. We
start driving. The sun is slowly going down, and I'm looking for something, or I acknowledge, I'm like, man, it just sucks on these roads because there's no street lights. Like, it's so dumb that we don't have street lights on highways.
No, you really said that. You said, dang, it just gets so dark out here.
You can't see anything. I literally, word for word, said that. And Sarah was like, yeah, man, especially because there's just so much deer out here. Like, it's crazy. They don't have lights.
No, I'm not kidding. 5 minutes before, if even that. Like, we had the smallest sliver of light left. Like, just the smallest.
And you were like, can you get what were we eating?
High chews. High chews, man. We were enjoying a high chew moment.
We only had, like, one each. But when I grabbed the high chews, I was like, why do you have a sleeve of crackers?
I had Ritz crackers in the car.
And she was like, oh, you know, just in case I get stranded. And I was like, haha, what are crackers going to do for you? There's like no nutrients in a Ritz cracker. I don't know.
Hey, people have had worse meals in their life, okay? They've lived off worse.
We literally said this. I'm grabbing she's driving.
Wait, like, before
responsibly driving. We are responsibly driving.
Before even this, she said to her dogs when she left the house, when I came to pick her up, she goes, instead of saying like, bye, see y'all later, she's like, all right, bye, be back in a minute.
I was like, oh, be right back. Because that's how I tell my dogs I'm like literally coming right back. Like, I'm just going to go to the store. I'll be right back. And then I was like, oh, I mean, not really. Like 2 moons is what and then I said that and then we left. But I literally said, be right back. Yeah. That was the first. That was
like, this was into this like boom, 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 boom. Like we really just kept manifesting it, right? And then, yeah, like the comment about like, I hate driving at night because these deer and bleh.
I had one high chew, and she was responsibly driving, like literally 10 and 2.
No, she was like full blown telling me.
Looking, I was talking at her. You
know?
Yeah,
you were just telling me a story, and I was obviously engaged. I love hearing stories while I'm like doing something because I can be fully engaged because I'm like not bored to death. So I was like hyped about it. Really driving at my 10 and 2.
The rest is you, because that's what happened. I was looking at her. I was like.
And I don't even remember what I said. She said that I just like screamed, oh my God. Like I was, oh my God. And it just was like a split second. Like I remember vaguely, like maybe for a half second saw it before it even hit. I saw it just darting across the road, this deer. And I was like,
because at that moment you knew. We were like, we just talked about this. Like, of course.
Oh, I knew it. It was heading straight for us. There was no way I was going to be able to like. It was one of those moments that felt like time had stopped, but not really. It was going by too fast for me to even react, which is why I felt like I was like, oh my God, like I already know what's about to happen. I couldn't even get the words out to tell you it was just, I mean, there
Luckily,
was no time.
You did just give up because she didn't swerve. She just fucking nailed it.
Oh no, I said.
Which is the safest way to go.
It is. No, it is. It's definitely the way to go. Like, don't swerve it. Don't brake. All right, if nobody's hit a deer before, it's very often, almost everybody's hit a deer out here that I've ever known. So, like, it's actually kind of crazy that, like, us in our lives, like, have never hit a deer, not even when I was a kid with my parents or anything like that.
I
like,
definitely grew up in the area to hit deer.
Yeah, everybody has. Like, especially if you, like, have, you know, any type of highway miles that you have to take early in the morning or late at night driving.
Yeah,
like, I just... Right, you just, they come out. Dude, there was deer in my neighborhood, like, a few weeks after I moved in. They were just stopped in the road, and they wouldn't even move. I was like, y'all gotta be kidding me. Yeah. So, yeah, that was definitely our first time, and man, it was crazy. So, on impact, it, like, hit.
And that's when I finally looked over.
And she's, like, 90 miles a minute, just like, blah, blah, blah. And she's like, what do we hit? And I'm like, and at this point, the deer has hit and flown our hood up, like just flew the hood up. So like now we really couldn't see except for this window.
A tiny little window, but all we could see in that window was just brown fur at that point.
Oh yeah. And I think we were anticipating the worst. Like we were just bracing ourselves at this point. And somehow this is what really like saved us too, is because this like hood came up, it like caught the deer from going back into the windshield.
And
so
we were rode with it.
She
came to it. She was slowed down, pulled over slightly. We couldn't. Well, I don't even think you pulled over yet. You just started slowing down.
Yeah,
but we just carried it with us.
It straight up just slid. So
and we catapulted it.
She
got to the point where she stopped, and that hood just went whoo. And the hood stayed up, but the deer just went flying forward and
it was crazy because we were like really she's like literally asking me in like a frantic panic, and I'm frantically not saying anything. So like we're just being completely like different from each other, but like corresponding obviously the same trauma. And so she's like, is it in the grill? And I'm really trying to look. I'm like, I know this deer's got to be in the grill at this point. Like we hit it.
I could
going
see it. It's
80,
just with us.
Full 80.
She was going 80 the whole time.
I had my literal.
Their speed limits are like 70, 75.
And I had it on my what do you call that?
Cruise control.
Thank you, cruise control. So I had it on cruise control. I knew I was right at 80.
But you hit it at 80, and that fucking pop of the hood saved our lives from that deer coming into our windshield. And then but the slide of this deer. I mean, it had
so
to
crazy.
Have been like 20 feet.
It had to, because we were still moving forward in this moment, and it came out of nowhere. It just flew out from the grill.
It was like one of those like fainting goats, like just. And it just slid. It was the most 90s-esque movie, like 90s movie-esque. It was Tommy Boy, bro. Like the way our hood was up and all we could see of this deer was through this like a foot wide, like crumpled up hood and little vision. And we were just like,
yo, I'm not gonna lie.
Just slid.
Oh, it was.
I mean, obviously it was dead. It was fucking dead. Sarah was like, I have to drive. So she like swerved off the road.
Because I was like, we're going to re-hit this deer. We, like, pushed it again in front of us. I was like, great. But like I said, time had slowed. We were definitely in the Matrix at this point. So we were, like, just veering off the road. It was very, like, honestly, like, it was crazy. And we were, like, not chill for a minute. But it was very melodramatic how the hit went on. Like, it was just, I couldn't even believe.
We were alive.
I couldn't believe it. I really couldn't believe it. I was bracing for worse.
She had to move forward more because she was like, I don't want someone to hit this deer or to swerve from the deer and hit us or whatever. So we like moved forward a little bit, but like at this point her car's making crazy noises, so she had to turn it off.
Oh yeah, like it was not doing well. It was telling me like,
but I was like, bro,
overheating.
Are you okay? We're okay. And I kept saying, I was like, we're okay. We're okay. I was nonstop in my head and your head, I think too. We thought we were being really chill.
We were
not chill.
No, we were being chill for what we had just gone through. Maybe in our heads we thought that.
But
looking
we
definitely
back,
looked like crackheads.
She kept like kind of shutting down, and I kept like just every thought that I had. I was going. It was like a full train of thought just coming.
But
out
honestly,
of my
it was
mouth.
helping me. Like I remember at the I could not focus anything. Like after hitting the deer,
she literally opened up her phone and went to her email and started just typing in
gibberish. I was like typing in like whatever. I don't even remember what I was typing in. I was like, what am I even doing here? And so like I'm like also talking to her. I'm like, what should I be doing next? I was like, what's the next move? What's the next move? And like
the very first thing I said was, call your dad.
I was like, insurance? I was like, we got to get the tow truck here first. And so like we're just trying to like figure out as like adults like stranded. We also have like no service. So that's the worst part. So, and
I had no service. She had kind of like one
I had like one bar. And I like cracked my window to like help it. I was trying to like hold it up
call
there.
Your dad. That's the only thing I could think to do. And then there was a lot of times where you were like just staring or doing nonsense, and I was like, we should get this tow truck here. Like we should call someone to get us.
And like, I kept going back and forth. I was like, because I remember thinking in my head, I was like, do you call the police for this? I was like, I don't even know. I said, is it? Yeah. And then I was like, well, do we? I said, I obviously have to call insurance. I was like, they have to be the ones. And like in my head, but like you can't process anything when you've like gone through something like that. So she's like just talking to like get over the fact, and I'm just over here like stumped. I'm just stumped with what I had to do next. I said, well.
I think it was a good team, though. We
we got through it. We really did. For a minute.
I told her everything that we could possibly, every scenario that she could do.
So at this point, like, she had thought to grab a weapon, did not grab a weapon. Yeah. I usually always travel with my gun in the car anywhere I go, just, because I keep Ritz crackers in the car. Like, you never know.
It's the middle of nowhere with no service.
Yeah, it was.
And this happens all the time.
It does. This is literally the intro to any scary movie or cold case file to anybody's name, okay?
Yes.
And it gets worse. So that wasn't even the worst part. No. I would say actually hitting the deer was the least worst part of this whole. The second worst part was sitting on the side of the road waiting
for someone to hit us.
No,
there's
straight
hella
up.
cars. It's dark as fuck. There's a deer
in the road.
She's on the phone with insurance because like every 2 seconds someone's just fucking whoosh,
whipping by,
and it's getting closer and closer to us,
and it's loud. And I remember on the phone I'm like trying
mirror, she's like looking out at this deer getting closer to her.
I couldn't stop looking at it, man. I was like, this thing just keeps getting closer, because I remember like we pulled off the road and we weren't far enough away from it, so I was like, well, I turned my car back on and it was making terrible noises, so I pushed it up forward. I was like, all right, we're far enough away, and it just
that sucked.
It sucked because I was like, you can't get out of the road. How were two girls going to move this full-ass deer off the road?
Oh, I would never.
We couldn't have. Like, we were just stranded. It would
remind me of taxidermy.
And, like, I didn't even think about it until my mom kind of told me, too. She was like, you were so lucky that somebody didn't swerve to hit that deer last minute to hit us. And that we kept our seatbelt on the whole time, because we were thinking, like, and, like, not even semis are getting
Sarah,
over.
Keep your fucking seatbelt on, just in case. All I could think about was that beginning intro of Disturbia, when they're already in a crash, and then somebody crashes into
we
them
made it
again.
And then it's boom.
Yes, that's what I was thinking.
I was like, that would be, like, the worst. That would be the worst. And then because then we were going back and forth, I was like, well, we can't get outside the car, because then that's like even more dangerous, like
and it was
I was like, what are we gonna do?
Long tall grass or the woods
where I literally got
two girls just in the fucking highway on this side of the road in the middle of nowhere.
It's dark. no
It's
service.
dark.
There was no
And there was
ending.
no service for like miles at that point. Like everyone would know that they had no service by the time they got to that point. I just everything wrong could happen.
Well, and I already
And
know,
I couldn't
like,
stop thinking of those scenarios and saying them out loud.
Well, and so then it gets even further. So we call the tow truck, right? We're like, they actually are like decently fast at trying to get to us. Like we're probably 45 minutes out at this point. I have to call, because like we were also like almost in the in between that it was kind of shitty either way we went. Like I would have to call my mom. It was a 2 hour, and then if we called Jacob, it was a 1.5 hour pretty much trip. You know, so. That was the first thing we did, which I'm glad that we did that. I said, get on the road right now because we're going to need it. I said, you have to come get us right now. Yeah, right now. It has to start.
Yeah.
And then we're scared to death that, like, the insurance call was going to get dropped, but we ended up getting all the way through to it.
The worst thing is you were on hold for the longest time, and that's when a car.
This random car that we were obviously not, like, we were paying attention but not, it's like this car just pulled up. And was like backing up to us.
But we didn't even see it even get there. We just saw it backing up to us, like right
from maybe like 100 feet out. Like we saw it and like it was appearing at that point. But I don't know how we got there at that point because I was trying to deal with insurance. You were obviously
ranting
and trying to find some type of weapon for
us.
That was your immediate thought, which was like the craziest part. We also manifested the serial killer coming up to us.
I don't have a weapon. I've said it like 80 times.
You did. You were like, we're straight out here with no weapon. And so like, again, we manifest ourselves into the serial killer coming up to us. I don't know. He could have been a nice man, but we didn't know that.
There's two scenarios, and I'll explain because he came up and asked like if we had service. And
so he backs up to us. And, like, doesn't say anything, doesn't wave at us, like, just opens up his trunk.
Opens his trunk!
And just opens his trunk and just starts, like, sifting through it. And you can tell, like, he's got a lunchbox. He's got a bunch of, like, it almost looks like survival gear. Gets out this flashlight, right? And it's, at this point, 90 to nothing. You are really tripping out now.
I don't know anyone from Iowa. I was so fixated on his license plate.
Memorizing his license plate, like really trying to do everything in that situation.
Everybody in his phone wasn't working. I was like, I know this license plate. I just need to give it to somebody. Like,
we were really like, we were on our shit at this point because like we're
how could we so helpless?
Down? But he didn't know how helpless we were. And so I remember thinking, I was like, this could go really bad, and I see this happening.
You didn't say anything. You didn't
and
say
I didn't
anything.
say a damn word because I was like, I can't even imagine if this actually happens. I was just sitting there staring at this dude in silence, just in awe that this guy's about to come up here. Still doesn't say a word to us, walks up to the vehicle. I barely cracked the window. And I'm still on the phone with insurance.
On hold. For 10 minutes.
I thought we honestly got dropped. I didn't think it was getting depicted.
Often we were getting dropped, so it makes sense.
And this guy asked the question of, like, are you guys okay? And we're probably just buggy-eyed, like, looking at him all crazed because we just hit a deer.
He said, like, do you have service? And, like, do you have someone, like, he asked specifically.
He said, are you okay? And do you have somebody coming to get you? Is, like, the question he asked, I think.
Something along those lines because you went through and you're like, I'm on the phone with insurance.
I said, the tow truck's on the way. I said, my husband's coming to get me.
The tow truck is going to be here soon. And she laid it out, like, literally sentence. Bam. And he was like, okay. And then he what?
And then he didn't say anything after that. Then just kept spotlighting this deer, which I now realize he was just trying to get the cars to, like, see it because he pulled the deer out of the road by his bare hand.
He just grabbed it and scraped it. Like,
no, you could hear that. Because I couldn't stop looking at him. I'm like literally like dead ass just staring at him. She's like got her head cranked back. I can see him in my rear view.
I know our pupils. Your eyes are already so dark. We had the probably scariest like cracked out eyes ever.
Oh no, that picture that I took of you because we like literally took pictures after we got out of the car and the tow truck gets here and like I take a picture of her like by the mile sign, and you just look crazed. Like you really just went through it, which we did. We did. We really went through it.
There is no way that we should have survived hitting a deer at 80 miles per hour.
I mean,
already that never happens.
This honestly could have been a good Samaritan who was really just trying to help and get this deer out of the road, but he was way too comfortable picking up that deer. He was way too comfortable with
right back. So he didn't say anything after picking up the deer.
Didn't say a damn word to us after. Didn't make sure that we were more good. Like
went right back to his trunk, rummaged around for another little bit of time, pulled out a rag. Goes inside, the light comes on. I see that there's another person in the car.
And she's like, at this point, like, they're getting out the chloroform. we're getting chloroformed. And I'm like, and at this point,
there's 2 people. We're not winning. We're not winning, Sarah.
I was like, we're going to try. I said, we're going to try.
I'm going to go out kicking and screaming. They will never take me alive. At that point, you did start finally talking. You were really dead ass serious at that point. You were like, no, we're doing this.
I said, we're doing this.
You were amping us up for a big fight.
I was like, we're going to fight. I said, no. I said, we're going to fight with no weapons. I said, we're going to be crazy. We're going to come out. I was like, well, first off, they're going to have to like break into a window first off. And like, if you're that serious at that point, bam, I got a weapon. I was already going, the glass, boom, in your neck. I had already thought about it. I was like, okay, fine, break a window.
I was like, I'm just gonna run the woods, I guess. I'm just gonna run away, I guess.
You were just gonna leave.
If I don't have any weapons and it's just like 2 grown men, there's no way.
And it was just overgrown grass, and we just had forest on each side of us too. So it was like a very forested area. Like it's a course that the steer came out of nowhere. I mean, straight up Bambi's mom, man.
The way that it slid, I can't ever get that.
No,
the
it's
amount of times that
us.
we were like in the middle of getting something done because we were trying our hardest to be efficient. But every once in a while, we would just like frantically laugh together about how crazy that looked, that it just slid for so long after we hit it.
We were trying to find the comedy in the moment because we were like,
think about the fact that we killed a deer until like we got home.
And we were like, no, we like cold-blooded
murdered that deer. Murdered that deer.
Like lights out immediately off the steer, man. Like nobody was home after it had slid on the road, man. Which was maybe the best saying because it was like a very hard hit. Like I'm glad.
If it didn't,
I'm glad.
God.
I couldn't even imagine that.
We
moment.
were sitting in the seats, like waiting for at this point we already have, that guy already left. We're just sitting, hopefully nobody hits us. We collected all the things in her car because we were like, this car's totaled. Like we're just gonna get all this stuff and leave this shit in Nevada. Missouri. Nevada, Missouri. That's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. It's literally just Nevada.
Big Cedar Lodge is there, is what I've heard.
Whatever.
Whatever. I'm never going back there. I unfortunately have to because my car did not get totaled. It's only got about 8 to 10 grand of damage, but boy, we're gonna fix it. It's just been a mess. So we're still honestly dealing with the repercussions of it.
Yeah, well, you are more than me. I don't even have the full guilt of killing that deer. That was you, man.
You just gotta say it like that. I'm Carlos, and I hit a deer.
She's Carlos. We made this Carlos that night, but it sounded like Carlos, and for a week we've just been calling her Carlos.
Carlos, because I was like, I'm Carlos, and I kept saying Carlos, and they're like, Carlos. And I was like, yeah, I'm Carlos. But I was for like a couple of days, which felt hella stranded. The one thing that did come out of that night is we got to drink the bottle of wine that we got hyped about, but it was out of misery. I was
bringing it to Oklahoma to drink that night. For
we were being all cute. We were like, we're gonna have a bottle of wine
together.
No, I know. What are the odds?
Haven't been able to make it down there.
Maybe eventually, guys.
Yeah.
Maybe eventually.
And the funniest thing is that it just was the start of the most wildlife adventure for me. And when we got out of the car, long story short, at the end, when we got out of the car, when the tow truck came, we had all of our stuff. We waited on the side.
Old-timey folk. Man, everybody had a thick-ass accent.
Country old man. He was a hoot.
Old timer. He was telling us some joke, but we were obviously still trying to process.
He said something about, adventure.
Don't go finding trouble is basically what it came down to. It was some clever. We're still trying to rack our brains because this actually was like a great saying. He was like, my mama always told me.
I swear he said adventure, like if you go out looking for adventure, you'll get one, or something along those lines.
Or if you go out, something around trouble and adventure, like adventure turns to trouble. I don't know. It was.
I don't know, but
extremely.
I highly avoided the grass. I didn't want to be in the road because I didn't want to get hit by a car, but I didn't want to be in the grass because I'm allergic to grass and I know that ticks are thriving. So I didn't go near the grass at all.
We just didn't have much room.
Kind of dumb.
I was on the side of like the busy highway, which we could have still gotten hit at any point.
I was like, is allergies and ticks worse than
getting smashed by a car? I'm like over here like, nah, I think I'll risk it. So I walked in it for like 0.2 seconds just to get around to our stuff because we're also like hoisted
holding
down with everything we have in my car plus our bags.
All the things we're bringing to Oklahoma.
But
we get all the way back home. Luckily, it didn't. The tow truck and her husband showed up around the same time,
which was tight. Yeah, literally within like minutes of each other.
Perfect. And
because at first
all the way back home,
we weren't.
Sarah finds a tick on her leg.
2 later on.
Yeah, but I saw the one on your leg.
Immediately found one.
I said, that's a mole, Sarah. And she flicked it, and it went
Yeah, it had legs. And she didn't believe me. She's like, are you sure that's a mole?
Oh,
Are you
no.
sure that's a tick? And I was like,
I was just traumatized. I didn't want to do that. You pulled it out yourself, thank God.
no, I did. It wasn't in there. I mean, it was a tiny little thing. It hardly hadn't been in there, but then I found one the next day, like around my like waistband area. I was like, oh, fucking great. So that was the very
story.
sad and miserable end to our Oklahoma trip, which we never made it to. Actually, it was
So
our
sorry, that was the plan, but
Nevada, Missouri, and back.
yeah, we made
actually.
it almost to Nevada. We didn't even make it there.
We were like 10 miles off, no lie. It was crazy. It was really wild.
Next time, we're gonna just take a couple days off and leave in the reasonable daytime.
But the thing is,
We found a turtle in her. Then she had a tornado. The next day, we found a turtle in her yard. The next day after that,
there was something else in between there that like happened, and I was like, this has just been very. Well, it didn't have to do with me, but it was somebody. It was my other like coworker, and like their son had just gotten sick, like really bad with pneumonia. Like the same day, I woke up and like texted my boss and was like, hey.
Just a
I'm
bad
Carlos
time.
right now, and I was like, he was like, oh, that's crazy. I just left work. I'm going to the ER for my
Oh
son,
my
and I was
God.
like, oh my gosh, it was just like crazy.
Bad
It was
times.
a weird moment for us.
But we saved the turtle. We put him back in near water. Hopefully, it wasn't someone's pet. I was thinking about that later. That'd be
No,
funny.
that thing did not look like a pet.
Yeah. It
I
trying to
honestly
bite
don't
me
know. Yeah,
a lot.
it was,
But I mean, that's reasonable. It was
he was
lost.
a big turtle. He'd been around for a minute.
Yeah. And then the next day after that, I went to her house like 8 days in a row. I feel like in my head it was like
No, we
4.
hung out like hella hard.
We needed it. We
Decompressed, and then we actually had like a fun little like building night.
Yeah, we played building, but I think there was that first night where I was like, bro, I've been kind of emotional today. The next day, I was just like, we both woke up early, cleaned our houses. We're hella lovey-dovey. Like, we were like, I'm so blessed to be alive. And like, I really feel like, I was like, bro, we should not have survived that. And I'm really thankful I did. All I could think about the next, I started building my Lego, and I was like, I have so much unfinished gun plot and Lego. Like, what
It's
am I
the small
doing?
things that hit
I'm
you,
just
though.
taking advantage of my life right now.
Always.
But we put that turtle back in the creek, and then the next day I found a Doberman on the highway, and all I did was just like run to the closest Quick Trip and flag down a cop. That was a total bitch, to be honest. He was so rude, but surprise. And then I waited for animal control, and that was sad. But I put my contact info down. I don't know what that does anything, but he was such a baby. But I could never take that doggy home. Reggie and him would
Fight it
beef.
out.
Yeah, beef.
He was a
dog
very
so
sweet,
cute.
very sweet dog. He deserved a really good home, and I hope he still does. A full-grown, full-ass Doberman. How dare somebody?
Doberman. The cop don't even know what kind of breed he was. Like, bro, these are like your types of.
Literally, they're
it's
training
like
dogs.
Yeah,
They're literally police dogs. What are you talking about?
I like it, right?
No, they are.
Yeah,
no, they
that's
are.
like-
There's like
those are
several
cop
different
dogs.
breeds, and like those are actually approved.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
You don't even know.
You don't even know. And you know what? Fuck those people out there that think it's okay to abandon animals like that. It's really fucked up.
I know,
The
his
whole ass
nails
dog.
were so long,
And he had a collar. He obviously had a home before. Like, why not sell him? Why
At
not let somebody
least-
else?
There's
It's
a
so
Doberman.
rude.
You can at
So
least get some
rude.
money if you need.
You just can't
just
always be a
leave 'em
hero.
around.
But man,
I know. That's the hardest thing. When I had him in my car, I was like, what am I doing?
I did.
What am
I
I
even
doing?
asked Jacob. I was like, do we go pick up this?
Do we need a Doberman?
I said, you said you wanted a big dog. It's free.
So cute too.
I said, it's right there.
He was so precious.
But golly,
he
it
just,
was
like
late.
jumped on in my car, chilled right next to me, like was so sweet.
Well, did you just coax him over? Like he just
I
kind of
really just pulled over on the fucking highway, again, which is so scary. But luckily, that's an easier highway. That's
Yeah.
50 in Kansas City.
so he's going through a city at that point.
Yeah, it was just right by the Quick Trip, and then
And he just hopped
I
in,
just
huh?
got out, and I was like, "Hey, buddy," and he just like came over to me like, "What's up?" And I was like, "Oh my God, you're so sweet!" And I started petting him. He was like, "Oh,
Obviously had
hey."
a home. What a
Yeah, he was
fucking
so sweet.
shitbag
No, I
human.
know. And so I was like, "Do you want to get in my car?" And then I was like, "What am I doing?" But I had a whole Lego set in the back seat that I was like working on, so I like and all this stuff I tried to move. I fucked up my Lego set. I had to completely kind of redo it the next day. But put a Doberman in my back seat and rode my ass to the Quick Trip. And this lady was really like on the side of the road, like I want to, like. Did you get him? Like, do we need to, like, let me go flag down a cop? And I was like, okay, yeah, whatever, lady. And I got in the car, and I was like, what am I doing right now? I have a Doberman in my backseat, but we ran over to the Quick Trip, and because there's always a cop at the Quick Trip. And I was like, they'll know what to do, maybe.
And he obviously didn't.
he was like, no, I can't take a dog unless it's contained. I was like, I'm like holding it. Like, I was like, watch, like, chilling. Like, oh, he's just chilling. He was like, oh. He's like, what even kind of dog? He's like, I guess I'll ask another cop that loves, or another police. He said police, obviously. I'll ask another police what to do with it. And obviously it was a woman. She was like, if it's contained, just call the animal shelter. And he was like, so he called it, and I had to wait, and it was good. But there was so many people that came up wanting to take the dog, and I swear I should have just given it to the first dude, because I felt really bad about giving it to the shelter, because he was like, the bars were all in between his toes, and he was just like in the trunk, like, what am I doing in a cage? And I felt really bad. And there's like, first dude came with like a big truck, and he was just like, you need someone to hold him for the night? I'll take him to the shelter tomorrow. And I was like, no, I'm good, you know, like.
Oh,
but I was like, man, I should have.
I should have.
I know, and he looked like that kind of dude, you know.
He
like,
was really looking for. He wanted a dog.
Yeah,
he wanted a dog.
I regret it. Maybe he went and grabbed it. Maybe he went and looked at the shelter the next day and grabbed it. Who knows?
Honestly, it's a pretty dog. He probably definitely got adopted. He's gonna have a good home.
The shelter, so. But then this super cracky couple came over later and was like, oh, and he just started grabbing the collar. I was like, well, I'll just take it. I was like, whoa, man, weirdo.
You will not be taking this dog, sir.
I don't like anyone that's too pushy about anything and hella slick like that.
Just take the dog. Oh, actually, that's my dog.
Yeah.
Crazy bitch.
No,
what
I was
the
like,
fuck?
No. And they were like, oh, what a pretty dog. Giving it the pats and stuff. I was like, bro, you guys look like you're trying to bang that dog. I don't want to give it to you.
No, I'm saying, was it that Quick Trip by my house?
Yeah.
The place is always popping off with crazy characters, man. I swear. Even just today, I was
That's why cows be chilling in Quick Trips. Nah, cows like Quick Trips because they're the most.
I think they get
safest.
free shit, too.
Probably, yeah.
I think they do.
I love Quick Trips, though. They are really safe. You can always count on going to a Quick Trip in an area you don't know and be good.
Yeah. I mean, if there's one place to go
really
for a
lit.
late night run, it's a Quick Trip.
They're always well lit. That's all I care about.
They're
Someone
very
that's
well
really
lit.
They're well lit.
Yeah. Was not the case with that highway, though. Not the case.
We had all the lights on for the car to make sure that nobody hit us, but at the same time, I was like, now they're just going to see that there's 2 girls in this car.
Yeah, you really were going through that. You said, well, now everybody's going to know that the 2 girls are just stranded.
But at
and
least
I was
we
like,
won't die, maybe.
Golly, that really was the worst part.
Luckily, it was a Monday night, so nobody was, like, drunk or nothing.
Right, exactly. Like, we went on, like, a very normal business day that people were probably either, like, driving home or driving to. Mm-hmm. It was still busy for a Monday night. Golly, and, like, nobody was getting over. We just kept getting the, like, wind of the residual cars flying by, just ricocheting our car.
Scary.
Yeah, it was really wild, but
that was so scary.
We were supposed to go into the segment and really talk about all the fun we had in Oklahoma, but now we just have this really traumatic deer story.
Yeah. So
which
it was
is still
long,
on
but
brand.
it was taking up the time that we would have talked about.
Still on brand, yeah. So I think it's time for the show and tell segment on
I was
a very
just
lighter
gonna say
note.
the same thing.
Very lighter note. We're good. Like,
wait, do you want a beer? Oh, bitch.
I've been babysitting. Here, I'll chug it right now. It's just warm.
Yeah, I'm glad.
I've been sitting with it. We told that whole ass story, and I was back again with all of that energy that we had that night.
Man,
it was funny too because we crashed too right after that. We were.
Yeah.
As soon as we got home.
We drank like a bottle of wine and then between the 2 of us, and
I was so tired.
She got driven
I was so
home.
tired, yeah, that night.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously,
I really woke up the next day like,
new day. Yeah. Wow.
It's like, what a great day to be alive.
I'm friends with everybody. I have no foes anymore. I'm going to make amends with everybody I know.
It's too short.
It's like that TikTok. What is it? Good morning, sunshine. That was literally our morning.
TikTok that we're talking about.
You don't, the earth says hello.
Oh, okay,
you know
yes. Thanks for getting me. We were drinking the wheats and the single wide IPAs tonight.
We've been doing a lot of quirks lately, and I'm not gonna lie, I've been getting a little bit.
I'm over them.
Right now, so I'm thinking normal beers.
It's funny because we drink quirks throughout the winter, and then we're drinking heavy beers throughout. Well, not heavy. I'd say IPAs are kind of light beers in a way. Well, not light, but you know,
most people wouldn't.
Not light, but they're light colored. Oh, that was cold.
Light colored. Oh, you know what? It'll be next show until I show it. I am pissed I didn't bring this one item. And I thought about it too, and I just slipped my mind today.
kind of got a lot of stuff recently, but I'm going to focus on one.
We did. We had like a small shopping trip. When was that? I just like randomly, we went to like a happy hour even.
It was because we didn't do our Tulsa trip.
Yeah, I like came over the next day. No. How did I get?
Why are we blacking out so hard on our week after? I mean, it was a recovery week. I swear to God,
Well,
we were
the
not
very
okay.
next
I
day.
really thought we were so okay. I was like, look at us, we're so okay. And then I was like, look at us handling this shit. We're just killing it. And the whole time I'm just like,
Yeah. Oh yeah. Just word vomit. Just.
and then the next few days I was not okay. I was a little emotional. I was like,
I just was like, I was like a little bit emotional. I was more put into perspective again, where I was like you even said it. You were like, I really need to prioritize myself as the first thing I'm going to do is like contact my job about it. But it's like, it puts it in perspective. It just puts in perspective that like, we're just so busy and you don't even realize. And it's like, as crazy as it sounds that like a deer just completely just ruins your entire week, everything, right? It just like throws like a wrench in it.
well, it goes.
It's crazy. Like life is just so short. It's like it could have just really actually ended. I really could have. I know we had some existential crisis last time, which was our first
clue.
Manifesting us into doing this whole,
The worst part is we were in the car waiting and we had a lot of time. We were talking everything. We were talking all the scenarios. Like, what if the deer actually did fall into our car and we survived and had a deer in our lap? Like, all these horrible scenarios we were thinking
truly,
of.
golly,
could have been really scary. And then
talk about traumatic.
we were talking about, like, it would be so sad if we died. I was like,
we were like, look how many people we would just leave behind, and like, yeah, it's sad as fuck that
really
person
like,
ended, like their life ended, but like, yeah, the people around you that's affected, like,
yeah, we were like sad about that, but mostly we were like, that would be crazy.
Like, wouldn't that be crazy?
We were not okay in that moment.
No, yeah, we were.
The scenarios we were talking about, we should not have been talking about.
You
didn't even try to tell me scary stories, and I was like, stop, this is a bad idea.
We just were ranting at that point. We were just filling the void of like,
our
minutes literally being counted down, like while we were just sitting on the side of the road, very stranded, very, very stranded.
In our seatbelts.
Nobody knew it at the time, but we were extremely unprepared for that moment. Like, honestly, we got it done really fast. I will say we were, obviously our fight or flight definitely kicked in that moment, and we fought through that entire situation.
It was a weird combo of fight or flight. I feel like I don't know what would have happened if we actually had like even more happen to us.
I was gearing it in my mind when she was when you were literally telling me that these were like serial killers coming up on me. Yeah. I was in my head, I was like, fucking great. I said I knew at one point in my life something was going to be crazy like this, and I'm just going to have to deal with it. So I'm like literally getting myself prepared in my head, because I'm like, no, it's not happening.
Yeah, and you were all like, I have to make sure that she survives.
Well, I just felt like a shithead, because I was like, I just feel like I would feel the worst if like you came on this trip with me and then all of a sudden like it just ended so abruptly like that. Could you even imagine? And then like I have that. Okay, fuck the deer. Honestly, at that point, like I had that on my hands. That would have been the worst. Literally the worst.
No, car accidents are the worst.
Nah, and it just goes so south. Like I just can't believe. I'm so grateful that
we're here.
Yeah.
We made it without a scratch. My back was a little sore.
Just a little.
But then we went and got pedicures together and had a massage
we
chair.
We did.
So
No, we totally did. Okay, so like.
That was why we went shopping. Because we got pedicures, and while we were there, we were like, do you want to go shopping?
Yeah, we were feeling hella.
She wanted to get a Lego set.
Which I did. My very first one ever. But yeah, we were feeling super bad for ourselves. So we said, obviously shopping spree is going to make us feel better. Here, let me,
Okay.
You're going to have to twist it that way.
I'll take it there.
Okay. So, like we said, on a very lighter note, here is show and tell. This is what we did afterwards. We actually met up with, I met up with one of Ashley's, like, newer friends. And
Melanie,
I kind of like interrupted their entire, like, I kind of forced myself into this like building moment. They like had this like whole Lego night like planned out, and I was like, honestly, that just sounds so fun. I was like, I've never owned a Lego set, and so we just literally went into the Lego store.
Collection is the best one.
The cutest orchids are my favorite flower of all time. This was adorable to build. I'm obsessed with it. I think I want to say this might actually be my very first Lego set I've ever built.
Yeah, no,
I've seen my brother build a ton of them in my lifetime, but like I've never like truly built one.
Not gonna lie, it was kind of like a gendered toy growing up, and it was kind of more of a boy's toy. We weren't
It was
into,
definitely
like,
they just were never what they are now, and like now they're just so. Oh my gosh, I was even looking at like the Disney sets that they had, the Winnie and the Pooh 100-acre tree house that they had, and it was just so cute. And I got it. And but no, I definitely went with the orchids, and I'm glad that I did because you get so many pieces for what it is.
Yeah,
It's just the cutest.
The best thing about these botanical collections and other like adult Lego kits that are coming out right now is that they have all those little parts of the like this piece was previously used on this, or like, and they'll give you information about the flowers or whatever. And
this guy right here.
Yeah, I'll show one.
Yeah, there you go. You just pop that off so quick. That was so cute.
Oh,
you can't like really see it behind it.
You can't fully see the face inside, but
The
those
face
pieces were previously used recently for a Demogorgon face from Stranger Things, which I was geeking about whenever she told me.
Yeah, that was like an adorable little moment that we had with it. But yeah, we like built these like Lego sets. We all had like the botanical, like one of the, like we had the birds of paradise, we had my orchids, and then you built the succulents that night.
Yeah. It was so cute.
Which is what the Doberman ended up like shredding, I think, right? But yeah,
Hopefully
so
it was
all it was a very cute night, honestly.
A little
Very
local
super
fun
cute.
with each other.
Yeah, we did. We like
made a new friend.
Made a new friend.
Mine. I didn't show Sarah one of these yet. So mine is. Oh, and you want to do a little one?
Yeah.
What's the little one?
I am going to show this little tiny one because somebody got this for me and was gifted to me. And it is a tiny tahini seasoning. It's actual tahini seasoning, but it was from World Market. Baby little thing. It's just an actual replica of like the bigger thing, but somebody got that for me and I thought it was adorable. It's going to go right with my Tabasco sauce that I have this size. So cute, but that was like my small little surprise because I haven't shown a mini thing in a while, and I figured why not?
Because I love how everybody knows now, and you just get tiny things.
That's
the
know.
Best thing about having a collection
and there's
everybody knows.
Yeah,
how to, like,
and there's only a couple of bucks ever, and it's just I find the greatest joy in it. You know, I just think it's great when anybody ever thinks of you, like when they're out. It is a very like nice thing. Like that is something that always gets me. I'm like, you really thought of me. That's like so cute. That's like so cute.
This is so
this tiny little thing.
You,
like,
it is nonstop. Every time I go anywhere, I'm like, Sarah, love that. I just like you are so easy.
And I just
stuff for. And
my grand
really
lady stuff that you talk about. Yeah, I'm sure. Like being anywhere, I have. It's funny too because I do have such a very unique style, but like you've been around me so much that like you know it. Because I feel like other people are like, you're just so hard to like buy for, and I'm like, I'm just really not.
You're so easy.
I'm saying anything squishy, plushy, small.
I'm saying any textures,
fandom textures,
any sizes, any
bright, colorful, love it all.
Or not.
Honestly, I've been watching Monty this whole time, and she's like
so
half
cute.
laying off this bed right now, and it is like the most adorable thing.
Because she's not in the cool side of the room.
Yeah, she's like trying to get that fan. She's like,
she thinks it's going over there, but it's definitely over here.
It's all in her head. She's like, I can't be on this fuzzy item
Usually
to be on this fuzzy
that way.
She's so cute. Killing it though. She's killing it, being a cute little doggy in the corner.
Cute right now. I wish I could show you. She's got her.
Okay, you're show and tell. Show me.
So I've already kind of showed this one. It's a 3D printed creation Master Sword, which you've seen it. My stream has seen it. But I got this from a local vendor at a. Oops. I recently let my friend play with it, and they definitely broke that part. But they also told me that since I got it from a local vendor, they told me that I can come back and get new versions of these anytime I need.
Heck yeah.
So anyway, I was really excited about this. I was like, oh shit, you got a Master Sword. I'm definitely buying this, right? And I'm going to, I believe they just changed their handle on Instagram, but I believe it's something like Paper Plastic Creations. Afro, remind me, maybe we'll put a little thing here for everybody to see.
Yeah. No, for sure.
But I was amped because it had a Master Sword, and obviously I'm buying that. Like, and it was $30, which I feel like is really good for like
a sword,
a crafted
sword
that was really long and nice and beautiful and fun. I love retractable things. But then I followed them on Instagram the first time I got from them, and I don't think you do, right? Okay. That's why she's gonna be so excited. So I'm gonna grab it. You won't be able to hear me, but you'll be able to hear Sarah, and that's all I care about. So I got his. I really went and hunted him down at the River Market, like art walk thing, vendor, so that I can go and get this because it's so cute, and I was so excited for you to see it.
Yo, show me.
And it's
oh
box.
My god!
Isn't that the cutest thing you've ever seen?
Are you kidding? It's a
Isn't
freaking
it's a Animal Crossing box.
It's a fossil. Oh my gosh, and it's perfect. It's so perfect to size. It looks just like it.
Also $35 or so. He had bigger ones for $50, like big ones. Oh my!
This is so cute. When did you go to the River Market?
Danny and I went. My friend from middle school, who we always randomly connect with each other over and over. Now we're on like our big. We've hung out like 6 times in the past 2 weeks.
Yeah, you guys have like definitely rekindled like what you guys had.
Yeah, I mean, we've always done that our whole lives. We're homebodies that homebody together. But
so
I don't remember why. I was like, oh, let's on my lunch day, let's run to River Market. For some reason, I don't remember. That week was a blur. Like I said, it was a hard week. The deer week. It was last week.
Yeah, it was. No, I feel like it's been like, which I know that we filmed kind of early, and then going into this, like it has kind of been like a little bit of a time lapse, but it seems like even ages ago that we even filmed, because I feel like we obviously went through something, and I'm still dealing with it, I mean, it's really actually not that bad, to be honest.
Yeah, having insurance.
I have insurance, and I'm a real ass adult, so it's fine. I have a rental and shit like that. Like that's fine.
I didn't even see your rental. I gotta go out.
Oh, it's like a stupid little car. It's like
it's a stupid little car.
It's an eco car, so you can't even hear it like turn on, which is kind of cute.
Crazy.
And it like doesn't waste any gas, which I love right now.
Yeah.
I was paying diesel, and that was
like,
one
sorry,
thing,
bro. I can't come to your house and hang out with your family. Gas is too expensive, and you live like 20 minutes away. All of a sudden, that's a long drive. Oh, Monty wants you.
It's a hard one. It's a hard one to get right now. Honestly, it's why like everybody's kind of staying in. To be honest,
I know nobody's doing nothing.
Like, and we're about to hit like a tiny little like recession too. Like food's about to go hella up. Like people are prepping right now.
Yeah, Amazon changed all their stock. I don't understand it. I don't honestly understand a lot of the
stocks
shit.
is hard to understand.
Yeah, man, it's tough.
I
get it. I think
maybe.
Sometimes
I feel like I do, and then I'm like,
yeah, I start
no,
getting it, and then all of a sudden I don't get it.
God, I think she's like.
I swear, Monty's just been licking the sweat off me for days.
It is a little toasty. The beers don't help, but
I think they really help.
Beers?
I'm a big fan of beers and heat. You don't like alcohol when you're hot.
No,
it's funny. It doesn't affect
I immediately like bleh, just want to die.
It makes me forget
it makes my blood
hot.
go up. Like not my blood. It doesn't make my blood go up. It makes my
She's angry.
It makes my temperature just so much hotter. Like I instantly, as soon as I start feeling like even like 2 beers in, I'm like, whoa, it's just hot. I'm hot.
I guess maybe it just makes
activated.
So I don't care about being
yeah,
hot.
Maybe so. Or maybe it just has a different effect on you, you know?
Yeah.
Maybe you just don't run so hot doing it.
She's
drinking a beer.
Baby.
I know. She's being very sweet. She's been so freaking sweet.
Yeah.
She's been so sweet.
Really nice. She's a nice girl.
She's
going to be 10 next month.
Oh, that's crazy to think about. Mm-hmm. She's just so young still.
I know. She's so
She really do be
lively.
getting around very well. Very well.
She runs. She be hopping like a whoo, 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 like a corgi.
I say that because Thor was only 10.
Really?
Yeah.
Damn.
I know, it's crazy.
That's crazy. But he's a big dog, and
he's a big dog, and he had cancer.
Problems. Yeah. Well, you know.
He had cancer at the end. Like there was.
Stop.
Sorry.
I love him. I don't want to laugh about it.
No, obviously that is our like trauma, like what we do in moments. That's the whole time the deer is like hitting. We're like, ha 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 ha. We didn't die.
The thing was, actually one of the cute moments was like I was very articulate about we need to. I can't say a lot.
I know exactly. We just had to be very very adult-like.
There was definitely something that needed to happen, and I made it happen. First thing I was like, I need to put my shoes on. For some reason, we hit a deer, and I was like, I gotta
put my shoes on. But I understand that.
And then immediately afterwards, I was like, we gotta do this thing. And then she was, shut it. She didn't say anything to me. Like, I realized looking back, you didn't even say anything to me. But I was you were
processing
there with me.
it. I was there. I just was like, still. This was me.
You were like moving a lot. You were just like. You were like doing stuff, but you weren't doing anything. I've never seen the way I looked at your phone because you know how I'm like, all right, are we doing this?
Oh yeah, you were on my
shit. You were there, and you were just
in my email,
like email searching, and because she was like, well, I don't have the most recent insurance. I was like, Sarah, it doesn't matter if you just call the number, like they'll know your insurance.
And I did. That was the first thing I went to because like in my later day, like anytime I've ever gotten like stopped in like a big accident, like it was like my fault or something, and like I had to pull that out and make sure. So like that was my come here.
Oh,
she said, "Psych, get off me."
Anyway,
you went in there.
Anytime you've ever.
But so that was just my natural reaction, 19-year-old me. Speaking of, I look very much like her today.
We really thought the cops were coming for some reason.
We just had it in our brains. I was like, and I just thought for some reason, and like it's totally legal to like have a bottle of wine unopened, but I'm just sitting here, I'm like, they're gonna think we're the biggest shitheads. Like we hit this deer on purpose. Like in my head, I'm just thinking, I don't know. I get frightened by cops immediately. Well, like anytime I ever get. That's just, that's the young me in me. So but it was.
I forgot why I started talking about this again.
I don't either. It's just obviously been.
We just can't stop.
Nah, yeah. This was like the biggest part of our week, and so like we're just sharing.
We should think about what's next because I think we're good. No, we're good now. We're okay. We're better.
This was actually the therapy session that we were like needing to get like out there because we were the whole time too.
That was
all
last week, and last week we were not okay. This week I feel okay.
Well, and we had to like
interview this morning,
talk about it.
I'm okay.
Yeah, exactly. No, yeah, you did. You had a big interview this morning.
We'll see how it goes.
Yeah, not to touch too much on it, but you did big girl things again. We're like in our big girl shit.
Yeah,
so that's the craziest
right
part.
Back. I swear, I like had like one day to recover, and then I was like. Real world. The worst part, really, you mentioned it, was just like as soon as this happened, I was like, I gotta text my manager, tell her I just can't do this meeting in the morning. I'm gonna be out here all night, and I was like, hold on, like that is not your job. Is not your life. Like that realization in my head was like, I need to.
We all just get so caught up, and everybody's almost first thought was that. Like that was my first thought. It was like, how am I gonna get to work in the morning? Or not in the morning, but I was like, how am I gonna get to work like if I don't have a car? And even though I knew, like those were the first things that you process, and it's like,
why?
Why?
Yeah, I should be thinking about like, oh my god, I'm fucking live, like. Or something else.
I mean, we were processing all of it, but like the big forefront on your brain is always like your job, and like I feel like we get into we're in a society today that like that is a lot of like people's lives. We're in a society today that is like really our lives, and that is totally our lives for sure.
Your life is not your job. Do it. You need to do it.
You need a job,
but it's not your fucking life.
You need to pay for life, but it isn't your life.
Then try for something better.
And that's what I'm saying. It's not that deep.
It's
not that deep, man. It's not that deep. Okay, losing your life is not that deep. And like we obviously came to the consistency.
That was deep. Your job is not that deep.
That's what I meant. Sorry, I was word vomiting trying to say that, but losing your life makes it not feel so deep.
She said, "Go to work.
Go to work now."
No.
It was a sure realization, and honestly, it's crazy too. My perspective on my job lately has been I don't give a fuck. Like I try really hard, but I'm like I don't care so much to please so many people. You know what I mean? Like I'm gonna do the best that I can, but like
you do the best you can, but you can't.
I just got to the point that I was like I am doing my best out here, and I know that, and like,
and you do care about your work.
Everybody does.
Yeah, we care about our work, but we don't.
We're in positions that we do, but
we don't prioritize it over the things that we care the most.
Yeah,
about.
I got to the point where I was like, I enjoy my patio. I enjoy going out in my backyard. Like, that's what I, like, really have a job for, is to, like, pay for this kind of stuff, is, like, what I realized, is what we realized.
I mean, that's what a job it is. And if someone tries to tell you it's not, they're
lying.
Bullshit.
You are lying.
That is what a job is. It's to pay for your life. And that's why you shouldn't prioritize it more than your life.
Absolutely. Absolutely. If there was one thing to take from this whole experience, is that we were
take advantage
way
of your
too
life.
caught up. Yeah, take advantage of it, man. Take the time off. All right, don't overwork yourself. Like, there's just no point in that. Never. Those days are gone for me.
Build those Legos.
Build those Legos, man. Any of those
get
hobbies
those
that you have, get them done. Do them
toys.
today. Do them tomorrow. Like,
what are you waiting for?
Literally.
I painted my wall last weekend, too.
You did. You totally did. We're over here, like, doing our crafts. I got out all my crafts.
Yeah, we're fucking...
We were like, we ain't got...
Get ready for the summer, bitch. It's too
We're
hot,
like
honestly.
the opposite of what
We're going to do indoor things this summer.
It's very hot. I laid out on Monday.
I've all of a sudden been like, you know what? Maybe I do like winter.
No, it was Monday, yeah.
It was
I laid
Monday.
out,
I was
yeah.
sad.
That was
I
like
went
the
to work
first
and I
day.
was like, I am sad.
It was so hot though, man. I don't think I could have like more than 15-minute intervals where I was like, right. I would like try to, and I sunscreened up.
I'm going to Texas next week. I'm sorry. I just realized I have something to look forward to.
I am going back to Oklahoma.
Oh, are you going next week?
I'm going July 5th and 6th.
Oh, okay.
It's a Wednesday and a Thursday if you want to go.
Excuse me, I might try. It's after 4th of July, so I can take care of my poop shoes.
Poop shoes.
Poop shoes.
The poop
But I am going to Texas next week, so be ready for all the fucking...
That is really exciting.
Western-ass stories. But I'm old now, so I'm not going to do anything too crazy. Like, I'm not, and my dad's old.
Hey, you know what? The Midwest always finds a way to get it into your life, okay?
I'm saying, this is deep, small town. My dad's a pastor, basically mayor of
She's a
Texas.
pastor,
like,
girl.
it is a place, but
you're going to be a small celebrity everywhere you go without knowing it.
Oh, my God. And I'm going to eat it up. I'm going just alone, so I'm just going to be like...
Also...
I wish to God you could come. God, that would be so fucking...
Dude, it would be so clutch.
God,
it would be so clutch.
If somebody wants to
really,
randomly give
really
her like
could.
$500 so that she can come to Texas with me,
that'd be tight.
Let me know. This isn't even going to get out before the shit. I'm going to tweet that bill and be like...
If anybody wants to fund...
Really, you have to get off work too. There's no way you can go down there
I'm
for
sure I
5
could find a
days.
day. No, I would never be able to go for that long, but I could definitely find a day if somebody was so caring.
It's such a far drive or like flight for... Only a day
for a
so,
small town, Texas.
No, yeah, because you gotta drive away from the airport.
I did ask off, so sometime soon we
Garage
talked
sale?
about. Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Yes. I'm planning on capitalizing on her garage sale. And
She's
I'm so
absolutely
excited.
going to, and I'm like totally cool with it because as long as we make the money, as long as we make some type of money, and like, I actually asked off for the day before so that we could prep before it, and then on a Saturday. I can't even remember. I'll let you know what date it is. But we are having a garage sale soon, and I think that's so fucking cool because we're
like adults.
We can
old
literally
ass, like ladies on the block shit. Like,
I know. Like I have a whole ass neighborhood. I'm gonna sell my shit too.
She's already getting ready, her outfit ready and everything.
Mm-hmm. You already know it. I started today.
She's gonna have out some pies for her neighbors.
That's what I freaking started my house cleaning for today because I was like, I gotta wrap up the rest of this shit that I'm gonna like sell in my garage sale that I really want.
I
so that, like
really talking about making pies or something.
Oh, I'm not a good baker. I'm a good cook, but I'm not a good baker.
So I can invite all my neighbors in on the garage sale day.
All my neighbors I don't know so well. I just know my like literal left and right neighbors like that are closest to my house, but they are so nice. Very sweet.
That guy was nice. We were drinking margaritas trying to
the day after our traumatic experience, and my neighbor like really turned off his entire mower.
He was mowing and he was like, "Oh, I'm so sorry, I didn't see you there." We were like, "Bro, you can mow your lawn. It's kind of nice, honestly."
Yeah, I think we're very used to that sound, at least out here. You know,
feels so neighborhoodly.
Exactly. You know, people mowing their lawns. It's just like a normal thing out here. But he really did stop to say and was like, "By the way, I haven't met you yet." Like he was like, "You work weird hours. I work weird hours." And I was like,
"We were sisters again."
He did.
As everybody does.
As they do, as it goes. But he was very, very sweet. And like the whole time, we're like trying to hold the thing that we had in between our hands that we were obviously smoking.
Oh.
And I'm sure he could smell the whole thing.
Yeah,
and we were like you weren't bothering us at all, actually.
Yeah, we're chilling. Obviously. We got margaritas in our hand. Sarah's got these dumbass cups and mugs and everything. Like every time I come to her house, she's
They're
like,
old lady. They're depression glass.
Bro,
everybody loves that.
Not
If you know what I'm talking about, you know, you know.
I love how we just say we argue at the same time, but not at each other. We just try to like convince other people to be on our
we're like,
sides. We're like, pick me.
You know.
This bitch. Every time I come over there, one time she was like, "Do you want coffee?" It was like 5 p.m. Also, I was like, "I guess." No, that was the next morning. I'm wrong. You're right. You didn't say anything, but it was the next morning, I guess. She was like, "Do you want coffee?"
We were drinking coffee the night before, though.
Yeah.
My mom.
I wasn't. She handed me
a teacup,
a fucking saucer and teacup. Like I'm a princess, and I was shaking my way all the way to my mouth, and I mean, like I literally took like 2 sips of it, and I was like, Sarah, please,
give me a
can
normal
I have
cup.
A normal
and
mug? And she was like, I guess, yeah, I'll take care of you. You're just so dramatic.
You don't appreciate it.
She's like, you're not gonna break it. You're not gonna drop it. I was like, I'm.
Literally, that was like the margarita glass. I will say, because it was so top heavy, it was very hard.
The next time she was like, "Oh, I just fixed up my wet bar. Come and get some drinks."
I did. It's so cute.
She did. She made me drinks, and I love that. I love having cocktails, and I very much appreciate if someone wants to make me a cocktail at any time. And she really put it in this top heavy ass glass, and I was sure enough like.
It was like a real ass like.
And it was
margarita glass.
She was spilling it even more than I was, because I was holding it like a crazy person.
And we were like really trying to capture a moment, and it was just this
taking a picture. All those pictures on Instagram, you can see my face was very like
strained. We were strained to get these like. I was like honestly like hardcore trying to just sip it down, just so it wasn't so heavy at the top, or at least I wasn't having to like spill it.
The things we do to try to impress y'all.
But it was trendy. It was cute. I used the barware that
honestly,
I had.
I said, Sarah, we need to take a picture and announce that we hit a deer, because I'm not going to be able to keep that a secret.
Well, I think it would have been extremely... It just would have been a weirder vibe if we just would have kept it.
Got silent on the internet for a while.
Yeah.
We definitely needed some time to recover.
No, we definitely did, and I think it was a cool thing that we, like, said it. Because also, like, it was a very nice way. That's a nice thing about, like... having BCB is like a nice way that like my friends can also like follow my life.
You have so many people,
and they're like, "Yo,
hello, Oklahoma,"
and they literally hit me up like immediately after that post and were like, "Yo, you hit a deer."
Yeah,
and I was like, "Yeah." So it was like a nice little way that I could also like, without going to everybody, and was like, "Yo, I hit a deer." Like, how do you even like say that to somebody? But like,
it's crazy that you've never really burned any bridge, and you just have so many friends from your life.
I just don't have that. I don't have that many though. I really don't. I just have the couple that like I really, really, really keep in contact with.
I know, but you do know still, like still people keep up with you.
Oh yeah, I mean,
I think that I turned into,
from what everybody
like,
says, I was mean in high school. There was only one person that told me I wasn't. Only one person.
Everybody's really backing me up on that.
Nah, they were really, really about it. But in a sense, I was not mean. I was aggressive. And that is what I stick to now. I was aggressive.
Your intention was nice, but
I didn't always come off that way. But with that being said,
you're just Regina George as fuck.
No, I'm nicer than that.
No, I guess, okay, you're more like Gretchen.
Yeah, but smarter. Come on. Come on, man. Are you kidding? I couldn't have that many people that follow my life if I was that stupid. Nobody would care about me that much.
Stupid. I would never call you stupid either.
I feel like I'm more... Nah, that's not it.
I would say... I don't even think... I mean, I wouldn't call you any of the things that... I wouldn't call you anything.
Like, not as mean as Regina, because I never was that malicious, but...
That's what I'm saying. She was way more malicious than
she was evil. She was very evil.
I expected you to be like Gretchen.
I just knew what I wanted.
Say things without realizing how you.
No, and I was still a stupid bitch. Don't get me wrong. I really was. I was very uneducated in high school, and those are the moments that really make me cringe in my mind. That I was self-centered, and
God, I don't even like thinking about myself. And
no, I'm saying it's a hard moment.
Yeah.
But I learned. I obviously learned. I guess I wasn't too bad.
That was a long time ago, also.
Like, I was really thinking about myself because I really dressed like my 19-year-old self today. Like, for real. This is like the whole vibe of it. But I was really thinking about myself on my way here. Me at 19. I was like, just, glad I got over that, you know? Just,
I had my first fucking boy kiss at 19. That just goes to show you the different lives we had.
Really?
Yeah.
19, huh?
We'll get into that next time. I want to get out of here.
Yeah, it's time. It's hot, and I think we covered everything. But you're going to Texas. I'm going to Oklahoma. Yeah. Maybe you'll join me. I promise it.
What
are the odds that we would hit another deer, right?
Don't say things anymore. We're never allowed to talk ever again.
Yeah, if it happens, it happens. We'll let you know, but it's not going to be
it's not going to be
a thing. We're not going to make it a thing because obviously.
Stop talking about it. Oh my God, you're really manifesting it already. I can see this. I'm going to come fucking loaded up with weapons next time. And it's gonna my weapon collection. I'm gonna make a video on this or something. I got the coolest weapons. They're not typical.
You know what I think about still? Those people that saw us hit that deer.
Oh, it was a show.
It was a show, and I know those people. The thing is,
enough how that slide of that deer was the most 90s ass movie thing I've ever seen in my whole life.
And it's crazy because like everybody around us was only seconds away from probably hitting that deer. They were only a second away.
There was a lot of cars. There's a lot of cars on this highway.
Like they watched us, but it could have easily been them if they were anywhere in like watching it. I'm gonna leave you alone with that. I'm gonna leave you with that thought.
Yeah, do your life big.
Live your life big. And get back into your hobbies. You're gonna miss them. Also, I've been playing LA Noire for the first time.
Oh my God, I'm so excited about that.
I never
She's getting into real gaming now. She's not into Nancy Drew. She's leveled up.
Okay, first off, I only was bitch.